snäll.
All of my friends are getting married, moving out to the west coast. Me and my girl, it didn't work out, but I still got pictures of us on my phone. Lately we just end up fighting and crying, misunderstood, and it makes us if your heart is feeling heavy and you think it's only you, I guess the point of all I'm saying, sonny, that ain't true. You're not alone. it doesn't seem God's saying, but the times get tough. Open up your eyes and say your goodbyes as you walk outside the door to leave. No, you never looked back, never took a real chance. You just locked the door and took the key. You can run away, take everything you own, and be gone before the rising sun. Hop in your car, turn your radio on, singing songs like we're singing along. When the morning comes, you'll be so far gone. Wish I would've got the chance to say that if you never come back, I just want you to know I'm gonna love you either way. Hey, pretty mama, don't you start crying. Don't let yourself go frail and weak. There's hope in tomorrow, happiness to borrow till you get to where you need. I know your baby's life, but it's really for the best. It's not the future that you wanted to see. Maybe someday soon she'll be back in this room and finally be the woman she ought to be. She can run away, take everything she owns, and be gone before the rising sun. Hop in her car, turn her radio on, singing songs like we're singing along. When the morning comes, she'll be so far gone. Wish I would've got the chance to say that if she never comes back, I just want her to know we're gonna love her either way.
Morning dew dripping down the window, disappearing in the light of day. It's
You can run away, take everything you own, and be gone before the rising sun. Hop in the car, turn the radio on, singing songs like we're singing along. When the morning comes, we'll be so far gone. Wish I would've got the chance to say that if you never come back, I just want you to know I'm gonna love you either way.
It's good to be alive. Sunrise coming close, waking up as the colors glow. Everything feels clear to me, like I'm right where I'm meant to be. And honestly, that's enough for me. Take a breath, let it all begin. Find my ground where the light comes in. Lift my eyes to the open sky. All at once, I remember why it's good to be alive. Feels good to be alive. Footsteps on the road, step by step, learning as I go. Every season has its place, and I can see my story taking shape. All the moments that I fill my day, Take a breath, let it all begin. Find my ground where the light comes in. Lift my eyes to the open sky. All at once, I remember why it's good to be alive. Feels good to be alive. It's good to be alive. Feels good to be alive. From the valleys to the mountains, every new day pulls me on. Through the long night to the morning, every moment leads me on. It's good to be alive. Good to be alive. It's good to be alive.
めっちゃ可愛い。
パパに似合うよねこの色。
めっちゃ似合う
この柄と。
てか自分が欲しいわ。
サイズも
可愛い。
いけるね、サイズ的に。
いけると思う。お腹も入るよね。
For the second
ちょっと出っ張ってるけどなんか。
call
あとか面白くない。素材もめっちゃ気持ちよさそうだよね。涼しそう夏。
only the
超いいじゃん超いい。
mine in a makeshift hotel room. Folded seat back in parking lot. I suppose had they caught us, we'd get expelled without second thought. Then they gave me a waiver, said to sign on the dotted line, professing a savior. I hardly recognized, seemed a little self-righteous to write a contract in Jesus' name. You penned in an office, I'd rather forfeit than play the game. Makes me sick inside to think how hard I've tried
わ美味し
to
そう。
feel understood.
うわ、美味しそうそれ。
あ
それ
それ美味しそう
Other
シェイク
side.
一種なのかな。
I just turned 18 when it dawned on me. I don't know what I
そう
know
か。
about anything.
可愛い。結局マリメッコにした。
It felt like a
男
funeral
性入れてない。
for someone I used to know.
あマンゴー。
I guess the feeling was mutual. Heard you cry on the
美味しい。結構
telephone.
意外とライス可愛い。
I got high for the first time, but I don't think I did it right. As a textbook perfectionist,